to what extent we have been able to attract foreign direct investment?
Macroeconomic indicators, they are stable compared to what they were 2 years ago. The economies, they are transforming, and Pakistan is also trying to bring in some new venues of investment.
What does this digital economy mean? How rural areas could be brought within the digital financial network?
In order to truly transform to digital economy, we need to shift to 5G. And finally, it's also about data management and implementation.
Amenities, luxuries. Recently, we have seen extraordinary raise in the salaries of parliamentarians, chairman of Senate, speaker of the National Assembly, and yet the common man is awaiting the dividends of this all economic development.
Prioritization of this money at provincial level, that can actually make or break the living standard of common person.
Party, how you see the political stability is always linked with the economic stability too. So how to deal with this?
There is a right of a peaceful protest, and a peaceful political protest, as long as it doesn't get violent or it doesn't disturb law and order.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in V News English. Dear viewers, IMF has appreciated Pakistan's ongoing economic reforms process, particularly under IMF conditions. The Pakistan's resident chief of International Monetary Fund said, however, the journey for economic reforms, journey for economic progress for Pakistan, and economic challenges for Pakistan ahead are very tough. And Pakistan's resident IMF chief also called for structural reforms that needs to be completed at the earliest if Pakistan wishes to achieve economic stability. To discuss this, what is the road ahead for economic development, sustainable economic development reforms, keeping in view that this week Prime Minister of Pakistan has also chaired 3-4 consecutive meetings on governance, on reforms in electricity sector, in FBR, and a number of other areas. To discuss this all, we are fortunate to have with us senior economist, Executive Director of Sustainable Economic Policy Institute, Chief Dr. Abid Suleri sir. Dr. Abid Suleri sir, very warm welcome to program Insight in V News English.
Thank you very much. And let me add that IMF resident rep, I not only alerted about these challenges that there would be major roadblocks for Pakistan, but for the region as well.
So, for the region as well.
Yeah, so for the region, MENA region, as you know that in IMF's classification and now from World Bank as well, Pakistan falls under MENAP, which is Middle East, Northern Africa, and Pakistan, Afghanistan. So I'm a president rep. He was also alerting all MENA economies about some of the ongoing external challenges which may hamper their progress. But I think more specifically, he appreciated Pakistan's progress on standby arrangement. It was a caretaker's government, a very strong implementation on standby agreement, and current government's timely decision to go to IMF without wasting any time. These two programs, I think they reinforced each other, and one must appreciate that this was for the first time that Pakistan was actually going to an IMF program after achieving initial macroeconomic stability through a standby agreement. Usually when Pakistan goes to IMF program, the whole objective of the IMF program and resultantly at least the first year of the program is to achieve macroeconomic stability. But this program, the current extended fund facility program, is different in the context that standby agreement, it provided a breathing space and a cushion, some sort of macroeconomic stability. And later on, the program is built on that macroeconomic stability.
Dr. Saab, the IMF resident chief, Mr. Maher, also called for structural reforms. We have been listening to these structural reforms since long. Would you elaborate what are these structural reforms that IMF resident chief has hinted upon, and any progress on structural reforms by Pakistan's current government?
Well, I think when we talk of structural reform in Pakistan, these are some of the long diagnosed and most diagnosed, most prescribed, and most delayed things. So for last 15, 20 years, we know what's wrong with the institutional mechanism, what's wrong with the policy mechanism, what sort of structural reforms are required. Of course, we need to enhance the efficiency of our public sector system. We need to enhance the efficiency of public service delivery system. We need to enhance the efficiency of our revenue collection authority. We need to enhance the efficiency of spending the public finances and public finances management. And we need to enhance the efficiency of state-owned enterprises. So this is something that even an undergrad student of economics will tell you that these are the things that Pakistan requires. And IMF programs, they have long been advocating for these things. For one reason or other, many of these things, they couldn't take place. But again, I think in the standby agreement under the leadership of Shamshad Akhtar Sahaba, one should give full marks to Dr. Shamshad Akhtar, and now one should also give full marks to Senator Aurangzeb, that they are not taking any political pressure, and they are trying to steer the country towards structural reforms. And one can see, although there are hiccups, there are many barriers and road blockers in this, especially when we talk of privatization of state-owned enterprises. But then one can see, for example, this very radical idea of having 7 federal secretaries of the economic ministries from private sector. And all of them, they are extremely powerful ministries. So the advertisement which is made by Establishment Division for Principal Accounting and Disbursement Officer, which is Federal Secretary for Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs Division and Commerce and Industry and Food Security and Planning, I think that itself is a very radical step towards those structural reforms. Likewise, Prime Minister keeps on repeating that he would be appointing and he would be sacking and suspending the decision makers on merit and of course the whole digitalization efforts. So I think some of them, they are step towards right direction. So although one can disagree on the pace, one can disagree on government's perceived urgency and what should have been done or what should be done in the context of the external threats that Mahir Binji has warned about. But I would say that there are certain positive steps as well. And one can hope that those efforts can be consolidated so that ultimately we can achieve what we are hoping to achieve, and that is increasing the economic productivity and increasing the efficiency of public sector enterprises and public service delivery organizations and ministries.
Dr. Suleri Saab, you very rightly pointed out and spoke precisely about the government decision to hire experts and specialists, and these people, these technocrats, these experts from private sector are likely to head some of the most important ministries. So this decision has sent shock waves within the federal bureaucracy. So what do you think? What will be the reaction by the bureaucracy? Will they go slow? Will they accept this, or will they enhance their own performance?
Well, Mateen, I think the answer is quite simple. If you or I were part of Pakistan Administrative Services, of course, we would have been showing some sort of resentment, or we have been talking of this trespassing of the external experts in the quote unquote this civil services and running of governments. There may be many bottlenecks and hurdles, even if some experts they are appointed. But one can see one precedence is hiring this Secretary Information and Technology from private sector, and it's
Has
almost
already
a
been
year
done.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's almost a year now. So I think looking at the performance, I am not following the performance of Ministry of Information Technology. So I cannot give an objective judgment, or I cannot tell you that how facilitative or otherwise the official machinery is. But yeah, of course, at one angle that would create some uncertainty and insecurities among the current system. On other, if the private sector technocrats they have earned their respect and they are known for their exemplary work, I think it would be quite easy for others to gel in with them and to get things done. So let's see what sort of selection is made and how quickly.
Dr. Saab, this IMF Pakistan resident chief also talked about enhancing investment, reforms in tax sector. And just today, Prime Minister of Pakistan chaired two meetings, one about digital economy and second again, reforms in FBR. So since long we have been listening reforms in FBR, it is still in progress. So what sort of these reforms are? Which are not, I mean, we are not expecting that in the near future it could be completed. So there is every week there is a meeting just to review again reforms. So two things, reforms in FBR and what does this digital economy mean? If digital economy is only about city, Pakistan is quite large country. There are thousands of rural areas. So how rural areas could be brought within the digital financial network?
Well, of course, for rural areas, there are two things which are important. Uh, First is infrastructure. We know that there are quite a few areas in Pakistan which are still devoid of 4G and even 3G. Of course, this digital divide and digital inequality that needs to be taken care of, and this is first. For rural areas, the second important thing is digital financial literacy. One is financial literacy and other is digital financial literacy. How better, for example, our women beneficiaries of Benazir Income Support Program, they are in using their phones to receive text messages about their payments. How better our rural population, which is almost half of Pakistan's population, is equipped with the use of different apps and use of different apps in Urdu language, etc. So this is the second important component of it. Third and another important component is when would Pakistan adopt and go for 5G? We have seen that now even the most unserviced and the country which actually was digitalized through 3G services at the end, that was Nepal. Of course, I'm not talking of Afghanistan, which is an exception here. And Nepal is now serving 5G. Pakistan is still not able to auction its broadband through 5G. We know that part of the reason is the dollar crunch when the existing cellular service provider, they were not able to repatriate their dividends in dollars and many other issues, including this whimsical closure of data services and network services, etc. But in order to truly transform to digital economy, we need to shift to 5G. And finally, it's also about data management and implementation. For example, if part of digital economy is digitalization of revenue receipts, then we know that even in Islamabad, as we discussed in our last program, FPR is not able to collect the federal excise duty, the GST, from restaurants that consumer pay very honestly. And
But
many
it
of
was
them, they
unable
pay.
to collect. It is an important statement. FPR was unable to collect.
Yeah, because you see, go to any past restaurant in Islamabad, pay your bill through credit card, you will be paying 5% GST.
Hmm.
But most likely, you will not be getting the POS receipt that the
True.
restaurant must issue to you,
Do
which
you have
means
any specific amount that FPR failed to collect this amount?
I'm not sure. We're trying to work some ballpark numbers at STPI, but the point I'm trying to make that this is digital ecosystem.
Hmm.
I'm paying through my credit card or my debit card. We are paying through the digital cash, the point of sale system, and the restaurant is collecting GST from us and
Hmm.
is not issuing the POS receipt to us.
Hmm.
They will only issue you the POS receipt if you will emphasize, if you will insist, and only then they will bring you a POS receipt. Otherwise, they will simply not. Many of them, they even don't bring a printed receipt, temporary receipt. They will bring their tab, and on tab, the amount is written. They will ask you to go through this digital tab, approve it, and make the payment, which means that even they are not printing a temporary invoice or a receipt. Now, within this digital ecosystem, if FBR is not able to collect uh, whatever the reason, due to technical issues, due to capacity issues, due to
Hmm.
connivance, or anything, that would mean that part of the vision of transformation, digital economic transformation, that will get hampered. And I think we need to come over these bottlenecks if we really want to transform our economy and want to shift to a completely digital ecosystem.
Dr. Abid Qaiyum Suleri Saab, every international institution, of course, particularly financial institutions, they always talk about foreign direct investment. And your colleague and friend, Mr. Mahir, has also hinted at investment as one of the key factors to stabilize economy because through foreign direct investment, a reasonable amount is injected into the economy. Jobs are created, more revenues are there, and economy ultimately and industry and growth expands. So, give your candid analysis. How much, to what extent, we have been able to attract foreign direct investment?
Well, so far very little, but the good news is that macroeconomic indicators, they are stable compared to what they were 2 years ago. Uh, we know that the economies, they are transforming, and Pakistan is also trying to bring in some new venues of investment. For example, this crypto mining, which would take some time to start, but at least there is some attention to it, and there is a regulatory authority to regulate its ecosystem. Likewise, rare earth minerals.
Exactly.
There is some focus towards this mining of rare earth minerals, and of course some digital services, especially the green technology. We're talking of now renewable energy. We are talking of the green mobility. And if you look at the part of the guest lecture of Mahir, the second part was all about a resilient sustainability facility, $1.4
Exactly.
billion that Pakistan has secured for climate change preparedness. Now, again, the bottleneck and the challenge here is policy priority. Of course, we want to bring in and lure investors to Pakistan, and for that, we require this honor of contracts. We need to have some sort of shortening of legal litigation mechanism. We need to have some assurance and insurance mechanisms. We need to have some focus on of course, physical security in Karachi, in some other parts of the country. Karachi, of course, a street crime and this street violence, the issues of street
Insecurity.
crime, where we want to do this rare earth mining, and especially in Balochistan, where IFC has already announced $2 billion for Recodec project. That's the province where we need to show our solid resolve against Fitnatul Hind and Fitnatul Khawarij. And I think these are some of the prerequisites which are required for foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investment, one can argue, was flowing to Sri Lanka when Sri Lanka was going through a civil war. Our foreign direct investment was going to Ivory Coast when it was going through a civil war. We know, any investor knows that more the risk, more the profit is. And but then there must be some constant rules of the game. If rules of the game, they are constant, and I know as an investor that there would be no executive order that I will not be able to repatriate my dividend, I will not be able to open my LC, I will not be able to encash my dollars, etc. Then of course I'll be happy to take risk and invest, because I know that rate of return would be higher. So I think it is these critical policy areas that also need to be focused, so that we can win the confidence of investors and we can actually attract foreign direct investment in Pakistan.
Dr. Saab, if I'm not wrong, IMF has never spoken about any policy that may affect the quality of life of common man. But IMF has always talked about that luxuries, the facilities given to the ruling elite, and this non-developmental expenditure must be brought down. Austerity must be there. In every meeting, these things are highlighted. So, but ultimately, we don't see any practical change. That non-developmental expenditure is cut down, amenities, luxuries. Recently, we have seen extraordinary raise in the salaries of parliamentarians, chairman of Senate, speaker of the National Assembly, and yet the common man is awaiting the dividends of this all economic development.
I think another added dimension here is many of the things that can make a common person's life easy, apart besides this energy, which of course in federal government's domain, all other social sector is predominantly the mandate of provinces.
True.
And again, one can argue that if provinces, they are getting, for example, this year, if they are getting 8.2 trillion rupees from federal divisible pool, and on top of it, the grants and some vertical and horizontal programs, ideally, it's the prioritization of this money at provincial level that can actually make or break the living standard of common person in their respective provinces. We heard during budget days that finance minister, he even gave the month that in August there would be a meeting of NFC award. Now, if National Finance Commission award is meeting, I think we should also demand, and perhaps IMF can play a role here. One can see that anything that doesn't happen, either it happens under superior court's order, or it happens when it is a commitment of a government with the IMF. So perhaps IMF should demand this meetings of Provincial Finance Commission awards as well. So it is the PFCs which will decide that all the money that the provinces they get from federal government is not only get spent in political capitals and one or two metropolitans in the provinces, but the money that comes to Punjab, it also goes to DG Khan, and it also goes to other far-flung districts of Punjab, and the amount that goes for Sindh, it also gets spent in Badin, and so far and so forth. So I think it's important that there are PFCs, and these PFCs, if those are executed adequately, I think they can give lot of facilities and bring lot of relief for common masses.
Dr. Saab, today there was another very good news that Pakistan Stock Exchange witnessed extraordinary business. What are the economic factors behind this, and can in the days to come similar business trend could be maintained at Pakistan Stock Exchange?
Well, it is just like that. If today you and I, if our body temperatures are normal, can we predict that tomorrow we will not have fever? We can have fever if some triggers are there. So we know if there is a mosquito bite, if there is dengue, if there's some infection, our body temperature would increase and we will have fever. So similarly, stock exchange performance is a barometer. It just tells you that what is the domestic investors' confidence level today. And if their confidence level today is healthy, of course, stock exchange would rise. If due to any reason, the investors, they show a knee-jerk reaction and tend to pull their investment from shares, we will see that the stock market coming down. So I think that in our case, where the kitty is very small, the kitty of brokers is very small, perhaps stock exchange one should appreciate when it's showing some positive performance, but I will not be either very over jubilant or would be very pessimistic if it suddenly drops or if suddenly goes up. As I said, it is just a thermometer that tells me my body temperature.
And in last week, the official statistics that have been released by Government of Pakistan through State Bank of Pakistan that overseas Pakistanis have sent extraordinary remittances through banking channels. That's yet another confidence by overseas Pakistanis on banking channel, on Pakistan state. So, but these remittances are higher than the income from exports. Export income is lower and remittances are quite high. So what needs to be done? Number one, that we can have more exports. Exports are crucial for economic stability. Of course, many countries around the world receive remittances through their overseas citizens. So two things, overseas citizens' remittances, how crucial and important these remittances are for our forex stability, and number two, exports.
Well, again, one can argue that many of the remittances, they are actually getting rerouted. These were the remittances which were being sent through informal mechanisms in the past. But now we need to understand that even from the host countries from where those remittances are being sent, their fiscal institutions, those have become now quite active and sending any remittance through hundi or hawala, although there are still many channels through which if I'm coming back and my friend gives me money to take and give it to his family, I may bring it. And that is the system which is still working. But I think the regulation and scrutiny of money changers in Pakistan, whereby their franchises were closed and the categories were made thanks to State Bank and SIFC, and the strict rules and regulation of dealing in cash in host countries. I think both of these, it's the cumulative fact that one can see the numbers increasing. We have also seen that remittances, they increase during those or before those festivals, especially Eid. And again, the last month of fiscal year was when many overseas Pakistanis, they were sending money to their families, either for their own qurbani or for their families, so that they can arrange their qurbanis, and there was extra flow of remittances, especially in June. And third, yes, this stability in exchange rate, I think that is again a very crucial factor. There was a dent in remittances when the exchange rate was going hunky-dory and in doldrum, whereby those who were sending money, they were waiting that whether if they send their money in a week's time, pound may appreciate further or dollar may appreciate further. Similarly, exporters, they were waiting to raise their invoice that maybe a delay of 1 month can actually increase their net revenue in rupees. But now one must appreciate that at least for last 1.5 year or more, the exchange rate against major dollar foreign currencies is stable, and that is also helping in getting receipt of dollars remittances as well as those export earnings.
Lastly, I would like to seek your analysis since you keep very strong eyes not only on economy, on political developments. Political stability is also linked always with the economic stability. We are again hearing some sort of news that there might be some countrywide anti-government political protest by a particular political party. How you see the political stability is always linked with the economic stability too. So how to deal with this?
Well, I respect the right to protest in any democracy. Of course, there is a right of peaceful protest, and a peaceful political protest, as long as it doesn't get violent or it doesn't disturb law and order, or it doesn't disturb the forcefully disturb the day-to-day commercial activities. I think the political protests would not hamper the current consolidating efforts. The things, they only go worst, and they only negatively affect the economic progress and economic indicators when such protests, they become violent, they become disturb law and order situation, or they forcefully disturb and disrupt commercial activities. So one only hopes that any political protest would remain a peaceful political protest. And if it is a peaceful political protest, such protests were carried out by almost all mainstream political parties in last few decades. And this is part of democracy that would go on, and the consolidation efforts, they will also go on.
So last one sentence, that when Pakistan will be able to come out of the IMF program?
Well, my personal hunch is that we require another IMF program after completing the two. But if the two, they are wholeheartedly and completed in letter and spirit, perhaps the macroeconomic indicators would be strong enough for any next government after the next election, either this one or any other government, to use it as a launching pad and further consolidate the macroeconomic stability. As I told you that the current extended fund facility is unique, that the previous programs, those were obtained when Pakistan was on the verge of collapse. This program was taken back to back when Pakistan had taken a U-turn from the collapse point and had already consolidated to some extent its macroeconomic indicators. So that can actually bring more positivity. Likewise, this is the first time we have two IMF programs simultaneously. One is for climate change, and other is for economic prosperity and growth. So their cumulative effect would leave us to a point, if successfully implemented, that the next program may be short and sweet, and next program would be there to just build upon the achievements of these two programs.
Thank you so much indeed, Dr. Abid Qaiyum Suleri Sahab, Executive Director, Sustainable Development Policy Institute, and renowned economist, for sharing your insights about the economic stability, economic future of Pakistan. under the IMF program, and the conclusion is after this program, there should be another program, IMF program for Pakistan. Dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.